And today a very special walk. Today we will walk the Fairytale forest of Efteling
By night.
by night after sunset. Wintertime started this weekend, so the park is open
And
when it's dark.
this is one of our favorite places in the Efteling when it's dark.
Absolutely.
And we made a walk already by daylight. And of course, then this is also a beautiful place at Efteling. But at night, it's even more special. So we're starting at a little dark part right now. Usually there's a beautifully lit castle here, but that's in maintenance now. So you won't see that. But when we come around this corner, you'll see the first fairy tale.
And also this dark part makes it very special. The fairy tales in Efteling aren't all the happy
Not to this. Yeah,
the depiction of the happiest parts of the fairy tale. Mostly they depict the dark parts just before it's getting better.
and it's not the Disney-esque fairy tales. They keep closer to the original fairy tale, but not the original dark fairy tale. So they lighten it up. Feet are not cut off, and that kind of stuff.
And we start here
At the Gnome Village.
The Gnome Village.
And the gnomes live in Efteling. There are a lot of toadstools at Efteling in the Fairytale forest. And these are the big toadstools where you can play. This part is just for children. Adults are not allowed in. And you see them living here. That guy is still fishing in his little boat.
And you can actually visit all houses.
And the music you might hear is coming from one of the toadstools. Like I said, they
We can show where it comes from.
yeah, they're
From
all
this-
around the Fairytale forest. And the music comes from this tree. Here lives the musical gnome. And he plays Bach. All day until the visitors are.
So
Not there
actually
anymore.
this is the largest fairy tale of the forest.
Yep.
Because it's spread out all over the place. And please don't expect all parts completely lighted up.
And that's the magic.
Yeah.
You have enough light to see where you're going.
Nee, daar staat niemand voor. En daar ook niet. Nou ja, zal ik maar wachten.
For those of you who don't know us and don't know Efteling, the Efteling is in the Netherlands where we live.
So the people who don't know us, that was a technical bump.
That usually not happens, but sometimes it does. And we make videos, point of view videos. You see what we see, and we talk about what we see and what we're. Well, this is one of the places we come a lot, and we show you all the beautiful places we visit.
I think Efteling is my sweet spot,
Yep, mine too.
my second home. We visit this park approximately 50 till 100 times a year.
Yeah, like I said, we live close by, so just for a stroll, for a walk, this is such a beautiful place. And the best time about winter is lights.
Absolutely. Efteling is getting ready for winter Efteling. So they're placing hundreds of Christmas trees.
Lights.
All
snow.
extra lights, snow. And here we are, one of our favorite snack points,
Yes, they've
the
got
Six Servants.
they've got stroopwafels.
The best cyberwaffles of the Efteling.
Sourwaffels, the stroopwafels, Or stroopwafels when you're pronouncing it in English. And they dip them halfway in chocolate. So they're very good.
And this is the famous guy, long neck.
You might know him. One of the 6 servants.
And he's wearing a warm hat.
Yep, it's getting cold, so he needs his hat. At winter he also has a icicle in his nose.
I'm not sure they do that anymore.
Oh, that was fun. And the voice you hear is actually one of the founders of this park. The one who tells the fairy tale is Peter Reinders.
He was responsible for all the technique behind the original 10 fairy tales.
This park started with only 10 fairy tales. It's the biggest theme park in the Netherlands now. But it started small.
10 fairy tales and a lot of sporting accommodations. Soccer fields.
A place for the youth. And it still is, but also for grown-ups now. This is actually one of the first, right?
Yep. Many people don't know, but the sign of Red Riding Hood. This was actually the first depiction of the fairy tale. She was placed in the forest with the wolf looking from behind a tree. And after a few years, they decided to build the house of Grandma. And this house isn't the original.
No.
It's completely rebuilt a few years ago.
Just like the old one, so they haven't changed anything. But it's now again ready to stand the test of time.
And I love the candle lights behind the windows on the first floor.
And the mist behind the house.
Here we see her. When you look inside, you can see the wolf in the bed.
Grandma is already ready for Christmas.
Not a musical.
And if you watch the entire video, let me know how many toadstools you see.
I'm not sure we've shown them all, but...
No, but people who pay attention will see them all.
The home of Geppetto.
And Pinocchio is here as well, but of course he's not home.
Because he's on a trip eaten by the big fish.
Well, he's gone. And Geppetto is there as well for people who come and see the fairy tale.
The red dancing shoes.
Also an older fairy tale, but not an original, not one of the 10, right? No.
I believe it wasn't, but not sure about that.
Oh. They will
And
dance
after
soon.
the fairy tale, they start dancing around. And now one of your favorites.
Yep, definitely. And people ask me for a translation of what the gnome says, but actually we can't understand ourselves because he speaks gnome. So
He's a troll.
He's a troll.
He
And
speaks troll.
he doesn't
But
speak Dutch.
He predicts your future, and I see it's available now. So let's see what my future is. And you can place this giant golden arrow on your star sign. Let's see. There it goes.
There you go.
Here we go. Wake up, my friend.
Oh, ja. Oh, jij komt van de toekomst. De subscribe. Ja, dat is leuk. Dat is leuk. Dat is die buffalo's. Oeh. Nee, dat is waar. Nee, dat is te veel. Oh, oh, maar dit is het is leuk.
Oh, you have a very funny future.
Yep. He clearly says at the beginning, so you come for your future.
Yeah,
And then he starts laughing and saying, that is fun, that is fun. So I guess I have a funny future.
Yep.
And don't expect him to say the same thing every time again.
Nope.
There are several predictions. So you really have to try for yourself to see your own future.
But don't expect any details, because if he says them, you won't understand.
And this is a very specific fairy tale, The Naughty Princess. And The Naughty Princess is a fairy tale written by the Efteling itself. This is about a princess that wasn't that nice and good listener to her father. And that is why she was talking after everybody, and so she was changed in a parrot to repeat everything people say when you talk when the eye is red.
Yep, she repeats you.
She repeats you. And this was a technique Peter Reinders developed, and they needed a story, so
They made one.
they made one up. But well, the moral of the story is listen to your father and mother. Another toadstool.
Hey, don't give them away.
Oh, some of them we do, because you can't see that one really well.
And this one you know if you are a Disney fan. It's Rapunzel.
Tangled.
Tangled. Yes.
Er was eens een echtpaar. En ze
And
wilden
all
een
stories there are many fairy tales in this forest
vrouw zwanger raken.
that are told in Dutch, and mostly it's a small, the story in a very short way.
There are fairy tale books near every story, and you can read them in 4 languages.
Yep,
And oh yes, and Pinocchio in 5 languages. They translated that in Italian as well.
because the story is Italian
Italian.
from origin.
And you can just read the story, and that's basically what's been told.
But if you want the real translation, the exact translation, that's also possible.
Yep.
We found a website, The Englishman's Guide to the Efteling, and they made
Complete translations.
complete
Yes.
translations of all the fairy tales that are told.
We'll add a link in the description if you're interested.
But most of the time, the books near the fairy tale tell you enough of the story to understand what's going on. Oh,
This one is so beautiful at night.
someone is going to steal his crown.
Ooh, let's check out what happens.
If he dares, she dares. What she does, but there he goes. Welcome to Dragon.
He doesn't appreciate.
when you try to steal the crown.
Nope, he chases you away. But he's a very kind dragon.
Normally he is, if you stay away from the treasure. It's a nice dragon. It's just protecting.
Yes, don't steal.
Mother goat.
Some people are afraid of her, but I don't understand them. She's a very cool little animatronic.
I was afraid of her as a child. And also here again, such a nice detail is the fire
In the chimney.
in the chimney. You can see the warm fire burn and go inside to check out the 7 goats. And they are already celebrating Christmas.
Oh, look at that. Normally they're playing a game, but now they're eating a Christmas dinner.
But they put away the board game. It's over there.
Oh, look at that. Yes.
They set it aside to have their Christmas dinner.
And when you look through the window, you can see a culprit.
Wolf trying to get in.
And I love these windows in those fairy tales. Oh, he still can't get in. That's a good thing.
He's trying for years now.
Yeah, he's not the smartest wolf. Don't tell him I said that.
And if you want to make sure you visit all fairy tales in the forest, there's an easy trick. Follow the red path, the red brick road.
You can't get lost. If you know the trick.
Don't take all the side roads, because then you will miss out on some fairy tales.
Side roads are basically shortcuts, but if you don't know the shortcuts, then you can get lost. If you really want to know the way, take a map at the entrance or download the Efteling app.
Yep.
They've got a very good map feature in there.
And let's see.
And for this you need to smell television. It smells like cinema here. And I've been told that the cakes smell like vanilla. I
Well,
haven't sniffed the cakes yet, but
There is a summer scent and a winter scent.
yeah.
This is the winter one. They just switched.
Let
This
me
is
check.
such a nice warm smell. And have you ever seen those little eyes in the... They don't smell.
No, that's just...
But have you ever seen those little eyes back in the bushes?
I see them
The
now.
cats.
Ooh. I think they are going for that effect with the new attraction Dans Macabre.
Who knows? Well, then it will be the bats.
Yes.
Because we already know that when you visit Huiverwoud and you want to visit Dans Macabre, you will enter Huiverwoud, and in Huiverwoud there are bats hanging in the trees.
And on the
And you can see them.
drawings they show little lights, so probably the same effect. That's cool, they reproduce stuff from the old days.
They often do. People think if you see the way, and we will come up to that, the magical clock later on. They rebuilt it this year, but the technique behind it is still the same. There was no better way to do it than Peter Reinders did it back in the old days.
Oh look,
Oh, there she comes.
there she comes. Perfect timing.
Ah,
Oh,
not really, but we'll call her again.
she's having fun with us.
Because, well, it's winter Efteling, so we need some snow.
Yes.
And, people often think you have to
Use force, but
use
you don't.
force to wake her up. And there was, yeah, well, how do you call it? The in Dutch, a mattenklopper.
Oh,
I don't know how you call it in Dutch.
Basically something you use to wipe out the blankets
Yep.
in the old days. Of course, now we have a vacuum cleaner.
And people use force to, they think they're to activate this fairy tale, but don't. Just yell her name.
Yes, this is sound activated, this story. So she listens if people are here and yelling for her.
And there she comes.
And now we're getting some snow.
Zo, ik het laten sneeuwen.
And she asks if we want some snow. Yes, please. And there's some little snow.
Yes, you see it a little bit on camera. You have to pay attention.
And I love the fairy tale forest in the dark because it's so quiet.
Also, yes. And
It isn't that quiet in the park at the moment.
no, it's actually very busy. They're open now till 8 because probably it's vacation summer.
In Belgium.
Right.
It's the autumn vacation in...
And look at this place, how beautiful. We need to go to the Six Swans as well.
Oh, for sure. The coin pooping donkey. It's really quiet now.
And he poops different kind of coins. So they're collector's items.
Yep, there are 10 different coins you can collect. And as you see, we don't go into all the fairy tales because, well, you have to do that yourself.
You
Discover them. It's way nicer than see it on video.
This is just to show you the lights.
And this is one of the best hidden fairy tales in the forest, the Six Swans. You have to know this path.
Yep. It's
And
just behind
please.
sleeping Snow White. It's
Snow
just behind
White.
Snow White.
Plus, please, please, please do visit, especially at night.
Look at it.
This castle is so beautifully lit.
And the music is amazing.
And this is actually the only ride in the fairy tale forest. It's just a small dark ride,
It's like 2 or 3 minutes,
not even. So it's
Yeah.
just around.
maybe 1 minute.
It isn't that special, but if you're here for the first time, if you have never done it before, it's nice to do so. And I like the fire effect they made here.
And this is already a hint to the next attraction, next fairy tale.
Cinderella.
It's the tombstone of our dear mother. And let's see if stepmother will come out because you can't see
She
stepmother.
isn't light out, so you won't see her now. But in the third window, sometimes she takes a peek out.
Yeah, she watches approvingly to everybody who's going to see the fairy tale.
And everywhere around this fairy tale you see a clock that points out 12 o'clock. Because, well, of course, that's the magical time.
And the doves are asleep now here. But
I guess those are asleep.
the doves are usually on this square. White ones and normal ones. And it's also a fairy tale. And the book of that fairy tale is
Was over a few steps back.
a few steps back.
That's also a story written by Efteling itself.
The bridal gown of
Nova.
And this
Well-
is also a good place to get a drink, a cup of coffee or another beverage, because it's beautiful just to sit down here and watch.
Well, of course, it's one of the most iconic places of Efteling.
Absolutely.
This square is actually here from 1952, since 1952. One of the oldest places in the Efteling. Oh, the golden ball
It's just out of the center now, but
is out of the center. But normally there's a golden ball in the fountain. And here we see the magical clock.
also completely rebuilt.
And this is the one I told you about. They used the same technique as Fairytale did, because it couldn't do it any better with all the mechanics that we have nowadays.
And the mechanics are used to make them blow their trumpets.
Every 15 minutes. So it will be 5 minutes. We won't wait for it. But if you're in Efteling, sit down, take a coffee, and wait for them to blow their trumpets. Is it worth going in? Maybe it is.
It's beautiful.
Just the entrance square. Don't go through the Indian water lilies. This is a fairy tale written by the old Queen of Belgium and was built in the early 70s.
An animatronic show.
And actually this was the first tryout for what became later on Spookslot.
Yep.
Spookslot isn't in the park anymore. They demolished it in 2022
That will
to replace it by Danse Macabre.
That will
but this-
open next year. We don't know the date, but it will open next year.
And this is still here.
Look
And
at
also
that.
this is so magically.
And that voice is from
Tom
Tom van der Ven, the second designer of this park. He only learned that
He's
recently.
telling all the rules for the fairy tale. And if you know him, he has a really sweet, soft voice.
Oh, he's
He
not
was
he-
a dreamer.
He's not among us anymore, unfortunately. But he made a legacy here.
Well, he was really a dreamer. He was always sketching.
He also designed Dreamflight, and I think that's really iconic for him, because it's not really a story.
Nope.
It's just
Images.
images and feelings.
Yep. And
And-
that's why I was surprised this is his voice. Because at the Indian water lilies it's a firm voice. Very firm and
Telling
normally
rules.
he's a dreamer and uses soft language. He also designed the entrance of the park.
The entrance, he designed Villa Volta, Dreamflight. Like I said, he really left a legacy here. Dreamflight and Villa Volta are still fan favorites. And really iconic attractions for this park. You have to be quiet here.
There's a giant sleeping here. So don't make too much noise.
If you make noise, then little thump thump
It's
will
coming
know
up.
it's okay to steal the boots.
He's trying. You
Yeah,
can
he's-
see.
He's trying to steal the boots. And if you're here, pay close attention to the satchel of to the right. There's a surprise in there as well.
We won't tell you what it is.
Nope.
You have to check for yourself. There he is again. And we just walk on to the next one. This is a part of the forest where there are no shortcuts. I always think they could use one.
And if you're still counting, here's another one.
Well, I have that one on screen very well, so people should count that one by themselves. Rumpelstiltskin is the next one.
Yeah, also not the smartest one of the forest. Chanting again and again that nobody knows that he's called Rumpelstiltskin.
And also he is already
In Christmas
uh,
spirit.
and then we can see, I guess,
The firework
yep,
is
the fireworks.
Niemand weet,
that's special for the end of year.
dat ik Repelsteeltje heet. Niemand weet.
He's making all the fireworks.
And there's also many gold things.
Around him. And I would love to hear from you if you stuck with us so far into this video. What's your favorite fairy tale in the dark?
Yes, and are you planning a trip soon to Efteling? Let us know in the comments. And if you're planning a trip soon, then we also have another channel. It's called Dutch Theme Park Network, and that's our channel where we really give information. If you're coming to Efteling for the first time, we answer questions, and it's a very informative channel.
Not only about Efteling, also
only.
about other theme parks in and nearby the Netherlands.
Yep. So check out that channel as well.
Just to make
You're
sure.
helping them, yeah. Now this fairy tale you must go and see. It's a little matchstick girl. It's a sad story. It's from the designer who now works at Disney, designing all the Frozen areas, Michiel den Dub. And he really did an awesome job here designing this fairy tale. It's of course a sad story, and I always leave moved because it's so sad, but so beautiful. Of course he joins grandma. And also here are the gravestones on the outside of the building.
Now you're on YouTube. Here are the gravestones. And there are two sneak peeks here. First on the left gravestone you can see the name Eleonora. That is, well, made up by the name of the mother of Michel den Dulk, and this little flower we might see again at the new attraction Danse Macabre. And I just walk back to make sure. You also get this one.
And up next is a great friend of ours. At least it used to be. Recently he's
He
forgotten
normally
names.
he knew my name.
Yeah, but recently he's forgotten. But hopefully he will remember again soon, and maybe today, if we're lucky.
Let's see.
It's actually one of 3 talking trees at Efteling.
Zo, ja, er kwam daar net een jonge kerel voorbij met zo'n giga grote radio op zijn schouder. Zo'n ghetto-blaadje.
Oh, he's complaining.
Dan weet je wel hoe laat het is.
But
En
he's,
er kwam niet eens muziek uit. Niks leuke dansmuziek of zo, of een deuntje om mee te neurien. Helemaal.
He's complaining about the guy with the ghetto blaster without any music.
I get a blast without the music. He wanted to dance. But this is Knies in the Kniezoor. It's, yeah.
A complaining tree most of the time.
Kniezoor is Dutch for somebody who's a bit grumpy and complaining all the time. And
We're just in time to see the Emperor new clothes. He's trying on his new clothes.
maar zachte kleren.
I will come out in a moment.
De keizer voelde zich dom, maar zijn hofhouding stond te juichen. De kleren moesten wel mooi zijn,
So
zo
let's
probeerde
wait
hij
for him.
zichzelf te overtuigen. De keizer haalde diep adem toen hij zijn volk achter de poorten zag staan. Maar met opgeheven hoofd besloot hij toen om toch maar naar buiten te gaan. Maar hij heeft niets aan. Hij heeft helemaal niets aan, riep plots een kleine guit. Het was even stil. Maar toen lachte iedereen de keizer uit. Het schaamrood op zijn wangen, maar met een zo waardig mogelijk...
Normally there's a fountain in front of him that comes up.
Hij lelijk uit zijn hemd was gezet.
But still, you don't see anything you don't need to see. But it's
We
a
all
fun,
know the story.
It's a fun story.
Where we just saw the first talking tree, now we're walking up to the second one.
And this is less interactive. He knows a couple of names, but he doesn't repeat them. The other three supposed to repeat your name.
But
tell
he
you your name.
does tell over 80 different stories.
Yes, and they're unfortunately only in Dutch. We're giving one away again.
Sure.
We're going to translate them on our other channel for you. But he tells all the stories about fairy tale characters and what they're doing when all the visitors are home. So when they're on their day off,
They meet each other and they have fun and their own adventures.
Yep, and of course the wolf and the witch team up from time to time, and that doesn't bode well, but the good guys always win.
Sure, it still is a fairy tale, and there he is. Fairytale
It's
tree.
the most impressive animatronic
The Efteling
I've
has.
seen. The Efteling has, yeah.
Goeie raad, eigenlijk niks te kosten. Zo heeft Langnek ooit, maar dat, lieve kinderen, dat is weer een ander.
Well, there were people arguing against him coming to the fairytale forest in those days.
I'm so glad they did it.
Because, well, is it actually a fairy tale? But as already told, there were several made-up fairy tales as well in the forest.
Already,
so
yeah.
why couldn't this be there? And it's so amazing. And there are always children near him.
Always, no matter.
Always. And also we love to sit down and enjoy a story.
Yep. And it can be completely quiet in the park, and there are always people there. So it's a hit.
Well,
Ooh, and this one used to be my favorite fairy tale as a child. I could not figure out how it worked until I was too old to admit it. But
the flying carpet.
he makes sure the tulips grow left and right.
And actually also here there was a big renovation.
Yep.
And it didn't change any of the techniques Peter Reinders thought about. He found a way to let the tulips grow in a very natural way. I think we don't give away
That's
how
all.
it works.
If you think you know, let us know.
If you think you know how this works, let us know in the comments. I will tell you if it's true.
But let me even give you a hint. It's very, very low tech. It's made up in the 60s, right?
Late 50s, early 60s, I believe. I'm not sure about the years they opened this one. But as soon as he started playing the flute,
Tulips will
the
grow
tulips lower on the right
and grow on there.
and grow on the left. You won't see it very well now, but believe me, they do.
And we've got a video during the day as well. So if you're wondering what the fairy tale looks like by day, then you can check that one out.
And then the last fairy tale of the forest.
Yep.
The Chinese nightingale. It's back here. We won't go in.
No,
Shall we walk across all the nice little statues here?
no.
Maybe I do. Can you walk on? And I'll take you with us.
Okay, but be careful, it's slippery.
Yeah, it's slippery, but this is actually one of the most forgotten parts of the Fairytale forest, and it's so beautiful. It's a Chinese garden. And there are some statues in here as well. So let's show you. Here's the first one. Those are the Brothers Grimm. They wrote many fairy tales. Right here you see a giant golden E. This is the memorial sign for the three creators of the park. First of all, the mayor of Kaatsheuvel in that time, Anton Pieck, who designed the park, and Peter Reinders, we told you about him, who did the technique. Well, and this statue was given by all personnel to the park when it was 10 years old. And it says 10 years of child's play. And this means the end of the Fairytale forest.
Yep. Of course, there are many more beautiful places at night at Efteling.
I think we will make a video about that on our other channel. But for now we say goodbye. Let us know what you think of the Fairytale forest in the dark. And don't forget to like this video and give a thumbs up. It really helps us to spread this video to a broader audience. And don't forget to subscribe.
If you like this video, yes, then you
So-
see much more.
We hope to see you in our next video.
Bye bye.